Alright, look. I already told myself I was done talking about this whole Remy and Papoose situation. I said it loud and clear. I said, nah, I am stepping away from this one. Let them figure it out. This is grown folk business. I am not getting pulled back into this. And I meant that. I genuinely, sincerely, from the bottom of my chest meant every single word of that. I was going to mind my business. I was going to let the internet do what the internet does and just watch from a distance like a normal human being. But baby, Remy Ma forced my hand today. She absolutely, positively, without question dragged me right back into this mess because what she just did cannot go undiscussed. It would be criminal for me to sit here and act like this did not just happen. It would be disrespectful to contend itself for me to ignore what just took place on the internet today. So here I am, back again, against my own word. And I am not even mad about it because this right here, this is the kind of chaos that makes you cancel your plans, sit down, pour yourself something strong, and pay full attention. Do you know what Remy Ma just did? Do you have any idea what this woman just unleashed on the world today? She just dropped a whole track aimed directly, and I mean directly, at her ex-husband Papoose and his new little girlfriend Claressa Shields. The song is called W.Y.F.L, and for those of you who are slow today, that stands for Why You Effing Lying. Read that again. Why? You effing lying. She named the track after the question she has been wanting to ask both of them for months. She put that frustration, that anger, that betrayal, and that Bronx energy all into one record and pressed upload. And get this. Hold on. Pause for a second. This is the part that made me lose what was left of my composure. The track is only about 2 minutes long. 2 minutes. And in those 2 minutes, she managed to dismantle everything Papoose built with his little narrative, everything Clarissa has been saying in interviews and on social media, and she did it without even breaking a sweat. She made it sound effortless, like it cost her nothing to destroy them both. And that is what makes this so terrifying, because if she can do this much damage in 120 seconds, imagine what happens when she decides to go the full 5 minutes. Imagine when she drops the extended version. Imagine when she puts visuals behind this. Hold on. Let me breathe. Let me gather myself. Because we have a lot to unpack here, and I need to make sure I give this the respect it deserves. We're going deep on this one. All the way deep. So grab your snacks, get comfortable, and buckle in because this is about to be a full investigation, a full breakdown, and a full celebration of what happens when you push a real rapper too far. Let us get into this. Now, for those of you who might be a little behind on this story, let me catch you up real quick, because context is everything. You cannot fully appreciate what Remy just did unless you understand the battlefield she is standing on. Remy Ma and Papoose were supposed to be hip-hop royalty. And for a long time they were. I mean, these two were the golden couple of New York rap. They were on love and hip-hop together. They were raising their daughter together. Papoose was out here writing love letters and rapping about his devotion to this woman. The internet loved them. Black love, loyalty, standing by your partner through prison time, through hard times, through everything. They were the example. They were the blueprint that people pointed to and said, see, real love does exist in hip-hop. And then it all came crashing down. Like a skyscraper built on sand, it just collapsed. The rumors started leaking. The accusations started flying. Papoose filed for divorce and started telling anybody with ears that Remy had affairs. He flipped the whole narrative. He went from, I love my queen, to she did me wrong faster than you can refresh a timeline. And the internet, because the internet is the internet, ate it up. They started picking sides. Some people sided with Pap. Some stayed in Remy's corner. But what nobody expected was what came next. Because what came next was Claressa Shields. Now, let me explain something about Claressa Shields for those who might only know her from the boxing ring. This woman is a legitimate champion. She is an Olympic gold medalist. She is undisputed. She has done things in combat sports that most fighters only dream about. Her resume inside the ring is stellar. Nobody can take that away, and I will never discredit what she has accomplished as an athlete, because that would be dishonest and unfair. But here is where it gets complicated. Here is where the plot thickens like a story you cannot put down. Claressa is 29, maybe just turned 30. Papoose is 47 years old. Remy has known Papoose since Claressa was 10. Let me repeat that so it marinates in your brain. Remy Ma has known this man since the woman he is now dating was a whole child. A 10-year-old. Still playing with dolls, still getting picked up from school, still asking permission to go outside. Remy was already in the trenches with this man when Claressa was learning multiplication tables. And now Claressa is out here talking about cookouts and starting a family and having babies and building a life with Remy's ex-husband. Publicly. On social media. In interviews. With her whole chest. Listen, I do not knock anyone for finding love. Love is beautiful. But the way this has unfolded, the way Claressa inserted herself into this narrative and started throwing shots at Remy unprovoked, that right there is what opened the door for what just happened. Because Remy was quiet for a long time. Remy was sitting back. handling her business. And a lot of people took that silence as weakness. A lot of people, including Clarissa apparently, thought Remy did not have it in her anymore. That she was washed. That prison time and drama had taken the fire out of her. They were catastrophically wrong. And today, Remy proved it. All right, let me walk you through how this hit me. I got the notification. Somebody in my circle sent me a message and said, "You need to hear this right now. Remy just went nuclear." I looked at my phone and I was skeptical. I am not going to front. We have heard rumors before. We have seen teasers that turned out to be absolutely nothing. A whole lot of smoke with no fire. So I clicked the link with low expectations. I told myself this is probably going to be mid, prepared myself to be underwhelmed. And then the beat dropped. And let me tell you something about this beat. This beat is nasty. This is not some generic, thrown together stock sound production. This beat has weight. It has aggression. It has that New York grime that lets you know immediately whoever raps over this is not here to play nice. The production alone told me something different was about to happen. The beat was the warning shot. The siren before the tornado. Then Remy opened her mouth. And from the very first bar, the first syllable, I knew. I knew. This was not a casual response. Not a subliminal jab. This was a full-scale demolition project. She came out the gate talking about women getting surgical procedures in exchange for promotional posts. Right away. No warm-up. No introduction. No, hey guys, I decided to make a song. None of that. She just went straight for the jugular. And the flow. Can we talk about the flow for a second? Because this is where Remy separated herself from everybody else. This is where you remember why this woman was considered one of the most dangerous female rappers to ever touch a microphone. The flow was current. Not dated. Not stuck in 2006. Not writing some old Terror Squad cadence. Updated, refreshed, keeping pace with what is hot right now while still carrying that lyrical density only veterans can deliver. She found the sweet spot between classic and contemporary and rode that wave for the entire duration of the track. Now, let me break down these bars because there is so much happening in every single line. The genius of this track is that Remy did not make a song about one person. She made a song about two people. At the same time. And she toggled back and forth between them so seamlessly that you almost do not realize she just switched targets until the damage is already done. 1 second she is cooking Clarissa, the next she is flaming Papoose, then she circles back and hits them both simultaneously. The construction of these verses is surgical. It is precise. It is calculated. Every single bar serves a purpose. She starts by establishing dominance. She positions herself as someone who does not need external validation, who is not threatened, who is operating from a place of power. That is important because when responding to people who have been talking about you, the natural tendency is to sound defensive. Remy does not sound defensive for a single second. She sounds like someone who patiently waited for the right moment to strike, and that moment finally arrived. The line about claiming credit for writing hits when your entire career has been ghostly quiet? That right there is a missile aimed directly at Papoose. He was out here telling anyone who would listen that he was the brains behind Remy's bars. Going on podcasts and interviews saying he wrote Conceited, her biggest solo record. And Remy let him talk. She let him run that narrative for months. Let him build that whole castle of claims. Then with one bar, she burned it to the ground. Because here is the thing. What has Papoose done solo? I am asking a genuine question. If he wrote those hits, where are his hits? Where is his Conceited? His Lean Back? His All the Way Up? His Ether? If you are such an incredible ghostwriter, your catalog should be overflowing with classics. Point to 10 Papoose songs that dominated charts. You cannot. Because they do not exist. And Remy called that out with surgical precision. Then she pivoted to the money angle. She said you keep talking numbers, but the numbers are not adding up. Phew, that is not just calling someone broke. She is saying you are pretending to have money and doing a terrible job of it. The math is not mathing. When you sit down and examine the receipts, the financial picture does not match the projected image. That is deeper than a flex. That is an exposure. And then, she hit them with the network line. She said, I know how to network. I own a network. When they Googling your net worth, the money is real. And then she flipped it. How are you talking out your neck when I know how your man's neck works? Hold on. Stop. Pause. That bar right there requires a moment of silence. She essentially told Clarissa she knows intimate details about the man Clarissa is now with. She has institutional knowledge that Clarissa will never have because Remy was there first. For decades, she knows the blueprint of this man, how he operates when cameras are off. And she reduced all that knowledge into one devastating bar that disrespected both Papoose and Clarissa simultaneously. That is lyrical warfare at its highest level. That is not just rapping. That is psychological destruction. Let me focus specifically on the Clarissa angle, because this is where it gets really interesting. Remy did something incredibly smart with how she addressed Clarissa. She did not treat her as an equal. She did not even treat her as a serious threat. She treated her as a nuisance. An afterthought. Someone who wandered into a situation they were not equipped to handle. She called her appearance into question. She said, "Your man is ugly. I cannot make this up." Said, "People calling me slim, but my weight is up." Basically saying, you can talk about my body all you want, but I am still the standard. I am still the one people are measuring against. You are the one trying to climb to my level, not the other way. Clarissa has been positioning herself as the upgrade. Like Papoose traded up. And Remy flatly, bluntly, with zero apology said no. You are not the upgrade. You are not the evolution. You are a downgrade with a boxing title. Here is what Clarissa miscalculated. She entered a domain where her boxing credentials mean absolutely nothing. No referees. No rounds. No judges scoring technique. This is hip-hop. And in this arena, Remy Ma is the champion. Remy has the belts. The resume. Clarissa walked into her house thinking she could compete, and Remy showed her exactly why that was a mistake. Can Clarissa really rap? There was that old freestyle challenge video people tried to gas up. But that is like saying you can swim because you took a bath once. There is a massive difference between messing around with music for fun and holding your own against someone with over 20 years of experience. Someone who went bar for bar with Nicki Minaj. Someone who created SH Ether. Someone who has been in New York hip-hop trenches since before most new artists were born. Clarissa cannot match Remy's cadence. Cannot match the wordplay. The delivery. The ability to layer multiple meanings into single bars. Remy knows this. That is why she sounds so comfortable on the track. No urgency. No desperation. Absolute superiority in this arena. And that confidence makes every bar hit even harder. She said, when other women rap, it is always just rhymes. When I rap, it is always supreme quality. Stop playing with me. That is not arrogance. That is a statement of fact backed by decades of evidence. A resume speaking. A track record talking. And nothing Clarissa can say in response negates that reality. Let us circle back to Papoose because this man caught some of the most devastating bars in recent memory, and I do not think people are fully appreciating how badly she cooked him. Papoose has been running this narrative for months. Podcasts, interviews, social media. The story. He was the real talent behind Remy Ma. Without him, no hits. He was the ghostwriter, the architect of her success. And people believed him because the person who speaks first and loudest tends to be believed. Remy flipped that entire narrative with a question that should have been asked long ago. If your pen is so powerful, if your talent is so undeniable, then why has your solo career produced nothing of significance? Where are the platinum plaques with your name? The Grammy nominations? The chart-topping singles? The cultural impact? The uncomfortable truth nobody in Papoose's camp wants to address. He has been rapping for over 2 decades. Had every opportunity. Cosigns. Features. Moments. Yet the average hip-hop fan cannot name 3 Papoose songs. They might know Touch It Remix. They might know Love and Hip Hop, but they cannot name a catalog that stands on its own. Remy knows his biggest claim to fame outside his music is being her husband. The most attention he has gotten in years is from this divorce and Clarissa. Without drama, without controversy, without attaching himself to other people's stories, Papoose fades to irrelevance. She put that into the music. Did not say it explicitly. She just asked the right questions and let the silence answer for itself. She also addressed the idea that he helped build her career while neglecting everything she did for him. When Remy went to prison, Papoose was supposed to hold things down, keep the brand alive, maintain momentum. What happened? Momentum disappeared. Brand stagnated. Relevance evaporated. If he was truly the engine driving her success, he should have replicated it on his own. The machine should have kept running without her. It did not. That tells you everything about who was really carrying who. That is not being mean. That is logic. Evidence leading to obvious conclusions. And Remy delivered it with a flow that makes it impossible to ignore. Now I want to talk about something beyond just the lyrics, because lyrics are only part of the equation. You can write the greatest bars in history, but if your delivery is flat, energy off, timing wrong, it does not matter. Delivery is what turns words on paper into weapons. And Remy's delivery on this track is absolutely immaculate. From the jump, she is in full control. Her voice has that edge, that sharpness, that I have been waiting to say this and every syllable will hit you like a freight train energy. Not yelling, not screaming, not doing the most. Measured, calculated, deliberate. And that restraint, that controlled aggression, is what makes it so dangerous. You can hear the confidence. Someone who knows they are better than their opposition and does not need to oversell it. She lets the bars do the work. Lets wordplay speak for itself. Lets double entendres land naturally without pausing to make sure you caught them. She trusts her audience to be smart enough to keep up. That is artistic respect that is increasingly rare. The pacing deserves attention. She varies speed throughout. Some bars come rapid fire, stacking punches until you are overwhelmed. Others come slower, more deliberate, giving time to absorb the weight. That contrast keeps you engaged from start to finish. Your ear never gets bored. You are locked in because she constantly shifts rhythm enough to keep you off balance. And those vocal inflections. The way she emphasizes certain words. The way she drops her voice on specific lines for effect. Almost laughs at certain points because she knows she just said something devastating, and the absurdity catches even her off guard. Those personality flashes make this feel authentic. Not manufactured. Not a calculated PR move. A woman who has been disrespected, betrayed, and underestimated finally letting loose. That authenticity separates good diss tracks from great ones. Let me talk about timing because the timing of this release is absolutely genius and not getting enough credit. Remy waited. She waited through months of Papoose talking, through Clarissa doing interviews, through social media posts, cookout invitations, baby announcements, all of it. She let them talk, let them build their narrative, let them get comfortable, let them think they had won the public relations battle. That is exactly what a strategist does. A strategist does not react impulsively. A strategist waits for the perfect moment, lets the enemy overextend, lets the opposition get so confident they stop looking over their shoulder. Then when the timing is right, when the element of surprise is at maximum, that is when you strike. Papoose and Claressa were comfortable, posting happy pictures, talking about future plans, settling into this new reality. And then Remy dropped this track like a bomb into the middle of their breakfast table. No warning, no announcement, no hey, something is coming. Just boom, here it is. Deal with it. Now they have to respond. That is the position they are in. Silence is not an option because the internet is watching. Every hip-hop blog, every podcast, every reaction channel is waiting. And that is the trap. No matter what they do, Remy already won this round. If they stay silent, people say they got cooked. If they respond with a track, they get compared to Remy's bars and almost certainly come up short. If they respond on social media, they look like they are avoiding music, the arena Remy chose for a reason. She put them in a lose-lose situation. And she did it with a smile. Also, she dropped this on a Friday. Friday, album release day. When major artists drop their biggest projects. She treated this diss track like a significant release. That sends a message. This is not some random freestyle. This was planned, produced, mixed and mastered with intention. She has been crafting this, fine-tuning every bar, every flow pattern, every word choice. A calculated strike, making it even more devastating. Something being overlooked and arguably the most important factor in this entire situation. The women are behind Remy. And when I say the women are behind her, I mean overwhelmingly, passionately, enthusiastically behind her. Look at the comments under the track. Look at social media. Look at the reaction videos already pouring in. The women are not split. Not 50-50. Not undecided. They are firmly, definitively, loudly in Remy Ma's corner. And that matters more than anything because in today's music industry, the female audience is the engine. They are the ones who stream. They are the ones who buy. They create the viral moments. They turn songs into movements. The reason they are siding with Remy. This story resonates on a deeply personal level. How many women have been with a man for years, supported him through everything, only to have him leave and immediately move on to someone younger? How many women have had their ex's new girlfriend talk recklessly online? How many have had the narrative twisted, becoming the villain in a story they did not write? That is why this hits different. That is why this is not just another rap beef. This is a woman standing up for herself after being publicly disrespected, reclaiming her story after someone tried to rewrite it, using God-given talent to fight back in the one arena where she cannot lose. Every woman who has felt underestimated, disrespected, or replaced sees themselves in Remy right now. Clarissa does not have that energy behind her. This is not about whether she is good or bad. It is about public perception. And the perception right now is that Clarissa inserted herself into a family situation, provoked a woman who was not bothering her, and is now facing the consequences. Fair or not, that is how the audience sees it. In the court of public opinion, perception is reality. If Remy plays this right, this track could do more for her career than anything she has released in years. The audience is hungry for it. The demand is there. The support is there. The algorithm is there. Everything is aligned for a massive moment. And she absolutely cannot waste it. People are going to compare this to S.H. Ether, Remy's legendary diss aimed at Nicki Minaj. Fair comparison since that was the last time she went this hard at someone. But here is the critical difference that makes the W.Y.F.L situation far more favorable. When she went at Nicki, she was the underdog. Nicki had the industry behind her. Nicki had the charts. The women. Nicki was the queen of rap at that time. Remy was the challenger coming off a prison bid, trying to take the crown. While S.H. Ether was an incredible piece of music and certainly made an impact, the reality was that Nicki's fan base was too large, too loyal, too invested for Remy to truly win that war in the long run. This situation is completely different. This time, Remy has the public support. This time, the audience is rooting for her. The opponent is not a multi-platinum superstar with a global fan base. The opponent is a boxer who decided to dabble in music and a rapper whose biggest accomplishment in the last decade is being on a reality TV show. The power dynamic is completely reversed. This is Remy's fight to lose. She has every advantage: lyrical ability, public sympathy, the storyline, emotional ammunition, the track record, and now a track already generating massive first-day buzz. If she capitalizes, this could be the beginning of a genuine comeback. Not that she went away, but the culture remembering exactly why they loved her. Here is where I put on my strategic hat, because I genuinely want to see Remy maximize this moment. And I am going to lay out exactly what I think she needs to do. Because the track by itself is great. It is fire. But if she stops here, it becomes a moment. A moment is temporary. A movement is permanent. Remy needs a movement right now. First, this 2-minute track needs to become a full song. 4 to 5 minutes minimum. She gave us the teaser, the appetizer. Now serve the main course. Fully produced, commercially viable, proper hook that gets stuck in people's heads. Verses quotable enough to become social media captions. The kind of song people play in the car, at the gym, at the cookout, everywhere. Second, she needs visuals. She must shoot a music video. Not just any video. Multiple outfit changes. Looking like money. Better than she has ever looked. The visual does as much damage as the audio. When people see her looking good, thriving without Papoose, winning without him, it sends a message no lyric can match. I am doing better without you, and I want the whole world to see. Third, stay on Claressa's head for the entire song. No breaks. No tangents. From the first beat to the last note, every single line directed at them. That sustained, relentless pressure is what made the greatest diss tracks legendary. Tupac did not take breaks on Hit 'Em Up. Eminem did not wander off topic on Killshot. That is the formula. Follow it. Fourth, consider doing a full EP. 4 or 5 songs, each hitting a different angle. One about the marriage truth behind closed doors. One about Clarissa specifically. One about the lies Papoose told in interviews. One about moving forward unbothered. That kind of project dominates the internet for weeks. Generates content for every outlet. Becomes an event. Events sell. Fifth, dress impeccably in every visual, every appearance, every interview related to this. Fashion is a weapon. Looking good while your opponent scrambles for a response lets optics do the talking. Style on Clarissa. Swag on her. Every outfit communicating. I am the original, you are the imitation. If Remy does all this, she will outsell, outstream, and outperform anything they put together. Not even close. Numbers will skyrocket because the demand is already there. The audience is waiting. They just need more ammunition. Now let us talk about what position Clarissa is in right now. Honestly, it is not a good one. Not good at all. If Clarissa responds with a diss track of her own, she is going to get bodied. She does not have the skill set to compete with Remy on the microphone. Not the breath control, the cadence, the wordplay, the delivery, the experience. The internet will do side-by-side comparisons. They will highlight every flaw. And it will be embarrassing because the gap in ability is enormous. If she responds on social media, she looks like she is avoiding the music. In a rap beef, avoiding music equals admitting defeat. It says you cannot compete in the chosen arena. If she stays silent, people say she got cooked and had nothing. Silence reads as surrender regardless of intention or maturity. If Papoose tries to respond for her, the worst option of all, Remy can point and say, she cannot fight her own battles, needs a man to speak in a domain about individual skill. Humiliating on another level entirely. The only viable move, ignore the music, continue living life, posting pictures, being happy, and hope the internet moves on. But it will not move on from something this juicy. Not with bars this quotable and a narrative this compelling. Clarissa brought a boxing glove to a bar fight. And in a bar fight, the person with the sharper tongue wins every time. Let me take all the entertainment out of this for a second, because something underneath all the bars and drama deserves acknowledgement. At the core of this story, there is a family that has been broken, a marriage that fell apart, children involved, pain that no diss track fully expresses, and no response adequately addresses. While I celebrate Remy's artistry and respect her decision to stand up for herself, I recognize this is a real situation with real people and real emotions. Remy and Papoose have a daughter together, a young girl growing up watching her parents publicly tear each other apart. Regardless of how entertaining it is for us, that is heartbreaking. Kids absorb everything. They see posts. They hear songs. They read comments. They process all of it. And one day that girl will look back on this period and form her own opinions about what happened. So while Remy absolutely had every right to respond, and while she did it brilliantly, I hope there is room for healing. Room for these two adults to eventually find peace. Not for each other necessarily, but for their children. Papoose was wrong for many things. Wrong for how he handled the divorce. Wrong for publicly claiming he wrote her music. Wrong for his moves. but he is still the father of her child. That connection does not disappear because of a diss track, no matter how devastating. Remy, if you are hearing this, the world is behind you right now. The women, the culture. You have the opportunity to reclaim your throne, rebuild your brand, and re-establish yourself. But please do not lose sight of what actually matters. Your daughter matters. Your peace matters. Your healing matters. The music is the vehicle, but the destination should be a better life for you and your family. Do not let the desire for revenge consume the opportunity for redemption. Use this moment, but do not let this moment define you. Let what comes after define you. Before I wrap up, let me zoom out and talk about why this moment matters beyond just the individuals. This is not just about Remy, Papoose, and Claressa. This is about hip-hop, the power of lyricism, the enduring tradition of the diss track. In an era of mumble rap and melody-driven hits and AI-generated music, the pen still matters. The bar still matters. The ability to construct a devastating verse still matters. Remy Ma just reminded the entire industry that lyrical ability is irreplaceable. You cannot buy it, cannot manufacture it, cannot engineer it. Either you can string words together in ways that move, provoke, inspire, and devastate, or you cannot. Remy can, always could, and today she proved time has not diminished it one bit. This matters because young female rappers are watching right now. Girls in the Bronx, in Brooklyn, in cities across the country seeing a woman in her mid-40s deliver bars that would make rappers half her age jealous. That representation is invaluable. It tells them talent has no expiration date. Skill transcends trends and eras and algorithms. If you sharpen your craft and master your instrument, you will always have power. Always have a weapon. Always have a voice that cannot be silenced. More than any beef or any drama or any headline, that is the legacy of what Remy did today. Let me bring this home with my final thoughts. Remy Ma delivered what might be the most significant diss track of the year so far. In 2 minutes, she accomplished what most rappers cannot do in an entire album. Established dominance, dismantled false narratives, exposed insecurities, reclaimed her story, reminded the culture of her talent, all while sounding effortlessly superior to everyone she addressed. Papoose is in real trouble, not because of mean words, but because she asked questions he cannot answer, exposed holes he cannot fill, pointed out inconsistencies he cannot explain. The longer those questions remain unanswered, the more the public fills blanks with unfavorable conclusions. Clarissa is in a position she never should have been in. When you publicly antagonize a Bronx rapper with a history of demolishing people on records, you should be prepared for the response. She was not prepared, and now she has to figure out how to navigate a world she is unfamiliar with. The track is excellent. Hard beat, contemporary flow, bars layered with meaning, confident controlled delivery, aggressive without desperation. Checks every box of what a great diss track should be. And it has replay value, the ultimate test. I catch new things each listen. Quality writing from someone who put real thought and care into her craft. The real question, does Remy follow up? Capitalize? Turn moment into movement? I hope she gives us the full song, the video, the EP. I hope she goes on a run reminding everyone why Remy Ma's name carries the weight it does. The table is set, audience seated, lights on, microphone hot. All she has to do is perform. And performing is the one thing Remy Ma will never struggle with. Before I let you go, let me give you some predictions because I know you are waiting for them. Prediction 1. Clarissa responds within 72 hours, and it will be on social media, not on a track. Something dismissive like, I have championships to focus on. It will fall flat because the internet already decided who won this round, and a social media post will not change the verdict. Prediction 2. Papoose tries staying quiet, but someone in his circle says something dragging him back in. A podcast interview maybe. The internet demands he respond on wax. If he does, Remy eats him alive because she is locked in. Prediction 3. The full version of W.Y.F.L is coming, probably already recorded. The 2-minute version was strategic, testing waters, gauging appetite. Now that the reaction is clear, expect the full version within 2 weeks. Prediction 4. A music video is in production or will be soon. Multiple looks, expensive wardrobe, cinematic quality. Remy looking like the queen she is while lyrics play over visuals amplifying every bar. That video will break the internet. Prediction 5. This beef gets talked about for the rest of the year. Not a 2-week story. This has legs, depth, invested characters, and a narrative arc still unfolding. Every time one side speaks, the other responds. The cycle continues. This is the new must-follow story in hip-hop, and the culture is all in. That is where I am leaving it. I have said everything I need to say. Broken down the track. Analyzed the strategy. Examined the characters. Given my predictions. Now it is your turn. What do you think? Was Remy justified? Was the timing perfect, or should she have waited? Can Clarissa recover from this? Does Papoose have a response that matches? Is this the beginning of Remy's comeback, or just a brilliant moment? Drop your thoughts in the comments because I genuinely want to hear every perspective. Hot takes, cold takes, measured analyses, emotional reactions, all of it. This is the kind of story everyone has an opinion on. One more thing, whether you are Team Remy, Team Claressa, Team Papoose, or Team Nobody, remember at the end of the day this is entertainment. This is hip-hop, the culture we all love. Enjoy it, discuss it, debate it. But remember there are real human beings behind these headlines with real feelings and real families and real lives that continue long after the internet moves on. Remy made her statement. Powerful, undeniable, everything we hoped and more. Let us see what happens next, because we have not seen the last of this. Not even close. Not by a long shot. Let the games begin. And Remy, do not mess this up. The world is watching. Everybody is watching. The culture needs this from you right now. I will talk to you all on the next one. You already know where to find me. Stay tuned because this story is far from over. Far from over. We are just getting started, and I cannot wait to see what happens next. Peace. Remember, every great story unfolds in chapters. This is merely chapter 1. The pen has always been mightier than the glove. Always has been. Always will be. And Remy Ma just reminded every single person watching exactly what that ancient truth means when applied with precision, passion, and 2 decades of accumulated skill. We are bearing witness to history being written in real time, and honestly, I would not want to be anywhere else right now. This is hip-hop at its absolute finest. This is what the culture was built on. This is what happens when authenticity meets artistry, and both decide to show up on the same day with something to prove and absolutely nothing to lose. And we should all be grateful that we get to experience moments like this. Because in a world full of manufactured content and algorithm-chasing mediocrity, watching a real artist with a real story and real pain channel all of it into real music is genuinely refreshing. It reminds us why we fell in love with this genre in the first place. It reminds us that behind all the streams and the numbers and the playlists, there are human beings with beating hearts and sharp pens who refuse to be erased from the narrative they helped build. Remy Ma used her voice today. The world heard it, and nobody is going to forget it anytime soon. That is what authentic power sounds like. That is what real artistry delivers. And that is why this moment will echo far beyond the internet headlines and social media debates. This one sticks. This one matters. This one changes the trajectory of everything that follows. And honestly, I am here for every single second of it. Every bar, every response, every twist and turn this story takes from here on out. Because if chapter 1 was this explosive, this magnetic, and this undeniable, then I cannot even begin to imagine what chapters 2, 3, and 4 have in store for all of us who have been watching this unfold. The stage is set. The players have taken their positions. The audience is locked in and nobody is leaving. The only thing left to do now is watch it all unfold with our full attention. So pull up a chair, pour something strong, and pay close attention to every detail. Because what comes next might just redefine what we thought we knew about the power of a woman with a microphone, a story worth telling, and absolutely nothing left to lose in this fight. This is the beginning of something massive. This is Remy Ma's moment, and it starts right here, right now, today, with this track, with these bars, with this undeniable, unforgettable, earth-shaking statement that nobody saw coming, but the entire world will remember for a very long time to come. The culture needed this moment more than anyone realized, and Remy delivered it with grace, power, and undeniable skill. That is the mark of a true champion. Not the kind who wears a belt, but the kind who wears a crown earned through bars, through pain, and through perseverance. And that crown sits firmly on Remy Ma's head tonight. Nobody can dispute that. Nobody should even try. The evidence is in the music. The verdict is unanimous. Hip-hop has spoken, and what it said is Remy Ma still has it. She always did. She always will. And the world just got the reminder it desperately needed. Remy Ma won this round. No debate needed.